can, whatever it might be. While we're on it, we're fine tuning it right now while people are getting on. So if I'm not saying much, bear with me for a second. I apologize. I'm working on this the best I can. If it doesn't work, that means the internet in my area has just taken a huge dump. So I'm going to pop some things up, keep an eye on things at the same time. So I do apologize for that. Oh, that's embarrassing, just so you know. It really is when you're trying to do something like that. So let's see what we got. Hey, it looks pretty good from this angle. Oh, it just went glitchy out of nowhere. Let's see. Uh, it's 20 seconds lag time too. I'm gonna turn off my phone off Wi-Fi. I'm sorry, everybody, if this keeps on happening. Really, it could be Facebook. I've done everything with my Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi shows a very strong signal. Uh, Facebook could be having some issues that I'm not aware of. I'm trying to figure this out as we go. I've done all the fun stuff to try and keep the network in my. And I'm looking at my modem right now, and it's really, really good actually. So I don't know. So we'll just keep going a little bit and see how this plays out, and see if we can get things working. So while I'm doing that, man, I'm gonna say this, and not a lot of people are gonna get this, but sometimes I regret having dogs. So just want to throw that out there to everybody. Anyway, so we're gonna try and get this whole thing going. Hope everybody is just as pumped as I am for it about to be Monday. So we're gonna see how this works out. So go ahead and jump on if you can. We got a few of you watching. Hopefully this does work out. I was told that the audio is good, the video is just kind of hinky. So we'll just do the best we can with what we got. How do we agree with that, huh? If you can hear me, say hello. Hey, Bill. Hello. Where are you from, Bill? I've gotten 2 messages from people, so we're going to go with that. My shout out to Brandon. You're welcome. Jennifer, I'll get back with you. I read part of the message while I was getting things in between stuff, so I'll get back with you on that. Okay, let me read the entire thing, and then I'll respond accordingly to the message, okay? Oh, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. We're trying here. Mather, Pennsylvania. Should you be in bed? No. Wonderful. So. And if you just heard that, yes, that is one of my message tones. It's so pretty. It's my older sister's probably telling me how awesome I am, or just telling me how bad the video looks. Either or, I'll take it. Wait a minute. Okay. I don't know what all this is about, but that's okay. Something about old movie. So, right back where we were at. I'm very sorry. I'm very embarrassed with everything. What's going on with the video and stuff. I don't know what's going on. So I hope you accept my apologies, and I promise if I don't get a good video tonight, I'll find a way to do one tomorrow. I don't care. I'll come home from work, beaten, battered, and bruised, and I will sit down and get on this camera and talk to you people. This I promise. So hopefully I can take a look what's going on through the phone so we can get moving. So I apologize. says we're getting glitchy. Nothing like a little bit of glitchiness. Yeah, I just want to show you that. Yeah. Oh, you can't see it, but I can. Oh, there we are. That's pretty. Okay. Got to show the new cover. Loving, loving, loving. Yeah, I don't know what else to do at this point. Probably a spirit collecting energy. I like that thought. It's that's always a possibility. I haven't had one around in a while, so there's always something that can be draining something. I guess that's always a possibility. So I'll go with that. We're gonna go ahead and continue with glitchy until the audio goes really just terrible. I'm gonna give you a few minutes. If you want to come on with questions, if I have to respond back by typing it, I will. Whatever I got to do for you, I'm fine with that. But I'll try and show you some stuff as we go through. I'm hoping we can get this moving. I'm really sorry, everybody. Hopefully, and you know what's really, and I thought it was maybe the internet connection to everything, but we've literally just unplugged everything in the house. Every phone that was attached to it, every computer, everything. So we'll try, like I said, we'll continue on a little bit. If you guys have anything you want to comment with or questions and the audio isn't that great, I'll start typing it in. We'll go with that. Looks like I only got 6 viewers. I'm sorry that I lost so many doing this. I really am. You know, if you can't see the embarrassment, my face is right here. So we'll just go with that. If you want, if it would help boost viewers, I can get up and show you my Batman pajamas. I mean, I'm always cool with that too. So, as most of you know, I'm not embarrassed about anything. So, okay. So, anyway, let's go on the best I can. Or the best we can. Oh my goodness, everything's so glitchy. Not just me and everything, all the stuff. So it looks like it's probably something through Facebook. So I'm sorry. It probably will show a little bit better, maybe not. Who knows? So let's give it a shot. Let's just have some fun. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to get everything pulled up, so bear with me on this. I just want to see what the damage is going to be happening, huh? Okay. Random podunk comments. Yeah, I know. The area is pretty bad, and I'm sorry. Am I frozen on you over there? No? Is it just choppy? Really bad? Can you hear me though? Can y'all hear me? It's like I'm wondering something. We're gonna try a little something. Bear with me for a moment. I'm not gonna shut y'all off. You know what? I think I might have a way. Bear with me. I'm leaving you on. We're gonna do this. I got a great idea. Woohoo. Let's see if this boosts us a little bit more, huh? The Stanley. That's an old one. I have reservations about the Stanley. It's the reason I have reservations because the encounters weren't even anything that were part of the legends and the stories that I was told. So there are little things like that that kind of may have things that stand out a little bit more to me, and I love it. I think it's a great place. I think the stones that it's made of actually create and hold some of the memories, and that's why they still see and things moving around and apparitions and things like that, and the urban legends move, and I think that's also how they're created. So maybe your energy draws something a little different than what I may have done. So that my opinion on it, it has something there. I'm just not sure it's what it's most famous for. If that answers your question. Oh boy. Okay, we got a total of 6 people. I'm about to get up and show the PJs, but I think it's actually coming through a little bit better. We've connected through a different spot. I'm going to try and see if it'll bump over us out a little bit here. Maybe not. Man, I don't even see it. My goodness. Well, let's hope this will work a little bit better. It's like having the internet at work. This might get a little bit better. Literally right now, I am running through a phone that is connected through different portions, so it should be running faster. If it doesn't run faster, then the video is actually being interrupted or distorted by Facebook at this point. Not intentionally, they probably just have a massive amount of people online. It's just causing a major drain. I see myself a little bit better, so maybe this is going to work. Maybe not. Let me just downplay this so I can see what you guys have to say. Okay, so while we're rolling that, that's okay. Use up all the data you want. Only got 2 days left of the month after today, right? So, okay. So, we'll go back with this. Thousands times better. Great. We're one step closer. We're one step closer. Okay, so let's start this over. Welcome. Yes, I am wearing a Korn shirt. Don't pick on my stuff. And I love Breaking Benjamin too, Aerosmith, and pretty much everything. But Korn? Yeah, Korn. Okay. So, okay, we're going to start back. I'm not starting over. We've had a few, I brought up stuff about the Lily Gray grave. I talked about artists. I talked about respect. Artists for the book. I'm going to reiterate that. I want to get some good local artists going on. Or local. Any. Throughout the United States, country, planet, whatever. Again, if you know any great artists and they have anything that they want to showcase, what I'm looking for is, I know we're doing stuff for the book, the Paranormal Group, and the show. My focus right now is a new cover for the book because I'm going to be testing out some new publishers. Possibly some literary agents. I just didn't decide which angle I want to go yet with this. I had a couple that I was talking to. So, but I want to have the cover, and I'd like to have it one of you guys out there, that really talented artist, and I want as lifelike as possible. And it's going to be showcased on Forevermore Memoirs of the Grim Reaper, and I will also be happy to have it on here, the Forevermore page. It'll show up on the trailer video. It'll be showcased with your name on it, who the artist was. So, if you know anybody that wants to draw and is just a fantastic artist, have them do it, and I'll give you the address to send me the picture, okay? Also, later on down the road, we'll be doing stuff, giving away stuff like this. This is our little mouse pad. It relates to the book as well. And America Haunted. I love America Haunted, but and I'm getting more merchandise and stuff like that. We're going to get some shirts going with that, which will have the Forevermore Paranormal on it. But we'll have things like this and mugs that we'll be giving away, just to promo everything. In fact, this came out with the first book, by the way. So when they do the second edition, I don't think they'll be doing this exact one, but we'll see how they will go with that. But I will be giving this away soon. Just throw that out there at you. So just remember, if you're unsure, you got to have fun. I'll put all this information on a picture, and you guys can take that information and get it to me. You can't even see the emails. I'm so terrible. So go ahead and send me what you got if you'd like to as well. There's our information, okay? So we'll get back on. What do we got? 1,000 times better. I'm still receiving. I'm going to go with, I think today's post that I had put on there was quite something that I really wanted to touch bases on in between answering questions as well. So let me just make sure before I jump the gun on things that we're all speaking the same language at this point. Okay, yes. Today I had posted that I myself am a direct descendant of the Mary Queen of Scots, and this is true. My family traced the lineage to that point. And the reason that I had posted that up with some of the things that we do is another part of my bucket list, along with you've read with Auschwitz and things like that, is I am dying to not only investigate the Westminster Abbey where Mary Queen is buried, but also I would like to go to the grounds of Robert the Bruce, who was her father. Before I get too far on it, yes, okay, Braveheart, yes, Robert the Bruce portrayed William Wallace, blah, 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 blah. You know what? Don't care. So I appreciate it. I love that Scotland is free, all this other stuff that we have with it. So I just want to touch on that. The reason I want to do that, because I have a theory when it comes to descendants and some of the hauntings that come up, and I believe that if the Mary Queen of Scots is haunting areas, that if maybe the descendants' energy will bring it out a little bit more. And I'd like to test that theory. It's kind of a little harder when you have, like I had my grandparents of that side too, my Nana and Papa, who I love to death. Their house is gone. I can't go in there and check this out to see if the theories are true or anything like that. From what I'm told, the house has no activity anyway, so they might have moved on together. So, and I'd love to know that as well. I think that's a great way to look at things. But I have a belief that if she is wandering her grounds, her castles, or her gravesite, whichever one, I would like to test all three because there's been rumors about all of them. So I'm really, really trying to figure out if I want to put it on the show, and I want to get more and more of the stuff like that on there so we can start out the first season really well with things like that. And I think that's a theory I'd like to test, and maybe one of them might have her spirit there and maybe none of them. Brian Cuz, good to see you online. How you doing? Miss you. See, he was with me in Atchison, Kansas. We had a great time. That was a great time we had. And I didn't even bring that much equipment, just a few cameras and stuff. It was actually a lot of fun. Atchison, Kansas is known as Kansas' most haunted town. So if you're from there and you want to dispute it, tell me how you're going to dispute it, and I'll figure things out and I'll compare things up. It's also the birthplace of Amelia Earhart, just in case you like your history. So with that anyway, so when I look at the Mary Queen of Scots and Robert the Bruce, things like that, we go back to the urban legends of them, and a lot of what I've been told with the urban legends towards the hauntings. I mean, you can read anything you like to know the history of the Mary Queen of Scots, but the history of it all, of the hauntings and the stuff, actually goes back to the castle. It goes back to where she was beheaded. It goes back to, there's ones at Westminster Abbey. There's actually saying she's wandering her original grave. If some of you don't know, that she was actually buried in one place, and it was a grandchild or great-grandchild that dug her up and brought her to the Westminster Abbey, and that's where she resides now. So with that, to me, I think that would be something I'd like to explore, just to see how well my hypothesis is on energies and descendants and things like that. I have a great family on my mother's side who would also probably do anything they could to join me so we could boost that energy. And there's a couple of them that I would actually talk to bring out there to boost that energy and see what happens. So that could be something possible in the future. Then we go on my father's side, and they got a lot of great things on there. I'd love to see if my grandfather still resides in some of the areas. I haven't decided whether or not to delve into who my grandfather is on that side, but that might be something for another time. Anyway, so anybody got any questions? Anything going on? What we're going on? We only got 4 people watching. My goodness, we need to boost that 6 now. How do we boost the numbers of watching? How do we boost the numbers of questions? How's the video looking?
It looks great.
The video looks great. Fine. See? Batman. Okay.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. I know. I'll tell you. It should have been a Speedo. But so with one of the questions that came into me last week was, how do I know what I'm seeing is paranormal and not crazy? You know, there was an old thought about psychotics that I really enjoyed. I'm trying to remember the article. It was written in the late 1800s that it was a possibility that you're not actually seeing paranormal. You're in a psychotic state, sitting in a cell, and everything that's coming at you is paranormal, but you're picturing yourself in different positions and places and times. Do I think I'm crazy for seeing it? I think I'm crazy for many, 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 many other reasons, but not because I see paranormal. I really enjoy what I do. It does get nerve-wracking at time when it becomes with the dangers, when it comes with a lot of different problematic things, bringing things home with me. So to me, I think there's a different thing. Now, when I go with the craziness, you can create your own illusions. I have taken many people what I call on tourist ghost hunts, where they've asked me to take them or whatever, and I've taken them out, and they want to get scared. So before we even get out there, they're already scared. They're already built up. They already have these emotions running, and then in their own mind, they start creating these own hallucinations. They start hearing things. They start seeing things that aren't there, that just because they're so scared, they're creating these things in their mind. And I can say that 90% of the ones that have created were just hallucinations they created themselves. They're like, did you hear that? So every time ghost hunters go, oh my gosh, did you hear that? I just laugh my head off, because I'm not saying that's what they did, but that's just what it reminds me of. So they have a lot of different similarities to that. Is that crazy? No, because you can create your own illusions. That's why also one of my main rules when we go on a paranormal investigation, as a form of respect, you are not to intentionally scare each other, because somebody in that heightened state of fear, you can possibly hurt. They could trip, fall, or even have cardiac arrest. So, no, I don't feel I'm crazy. I feel what I see is real, and a lot of time I've been able to prove what's been going on. What do we got? Love to see it come to Coleman, Alabama. Now, can you tell me something that some good urban legend or story or history of Coleman, Alabama that would be come to see, that would be a lot of fun to come down there and check it out? That I'd like to hear, and maybe I can check it out and look into coming down that way. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Just long. How far are you from Birmingham? No, that's what we got to know. We ain't going into Birmingham. So I've been watching for the next 48, or the first 48. One other question that I was asked was, do I ever get afraid? You'd be a liar to say no. Honestly, when I started this, I was scared out of my mind. I was pale white. I remember several times being horribly scared. With the amount of times that I've done it and the feelings that I got and the strength that I've built for myself, I no longer have a fear of it, more of a caution. I still have the same excitement every single time I do it. And I still have the same love and passion that I've had every time I start. It just gets to increase more and more. And honestly, I'm not a real big fan of doing the tourist investigations. That's why I didn't, you see a lot of people maybe in your own the close cities or towns or whatever, like, oh, do the haunted tour. Honestly, I'm not saying they're bad things, but go out there and check it out yourself quietly and in your own time. That way you can take your time and see what's going on around there. I'm just not one to do the tours. I have done them, and I'll tell you what, any of you guys want to come down this way and stay, I'll take you out to a little place. We'll spend a couple hours somewhere. It'll be fun. I don't have a problem with that because I actually love this. Another question that came through the wire was, why do I live in Utah? This is a great question, by the way. I am born and raised in Las Vegas, Nevada. I have lived in Utah for quite some time now. I mean, right here where I live now, I've been here for over 10 years, just over 10 years, I believe. Utah itself is incredibly beautiful. I'm, I mean, Utah is just gorgeous. I love mountains. I love the trees. It's desert. It's forest. It's everything right there. Two, Utah was on Unexplained Universe more times than any other state in the United States of America. It was, and Utah has some of the highest energies because you go back, there's far enough. I mean, you have your Western days, you have your Native American days, you have your pioneer days, you have so much history. It's gone through there, including a main portion of the old Spanish Trail that leads right through. In fact, Mountain Meadow, where you saw it on, is on the old Spanish Trail. So there's so much history and so much love. Now, yes, I go everywhere else, and one day I might move somewhere else. But right now I'm here in Utah. I have a fantastic supportive family, and I have a great place. And every time I turn around, there's a new urban legend or a new ghost story I get to go explore or go help somebody. Melody, if you're watching, I will be getting to your house, I promise. Just very busy. Let's see what we got going on here right now. All right, have you been to Fremont, Indiana, Deadwood? Fairmont. I'm sorry. I got to wear glasses. Sorry. Fairmont. I have not. If you have some great stories to tell me that you can share with me, I'd love it. In fact, post them online. I'd love to hear the stories and legends, and I'll look them up and take care, and I'll put it on the list. If we can get over in that area, I'll be right over there. And you're about 30 minutes from Birmingham. It needs to be 300. No, we'll figure something out. The freaky stuff that went on at the cabin in Strawberry Point. Oh, Brian, yes, if you see Brian Young down there, he's my cousin. When we were growing up, this is where we thought we were weird. We had weird things that would happen on this cabin. This is in Utah, and this is during the time that we actually lived in Vegas. He lived in Vegas, I was living in Vegas, and we would have things moving across the ground, pushing us, grabbing our covers. The voices. I'd love to get back in that cabin to see, but without getting into it, Brian knows why we can't do that. But I mean, it was incredible, and this was. I mean, as a little kid, we were little kids. We didn't understand what was going on, and you go, hey, mom, dad, and shut up, go to bed, and we hardly slept in that cabin half the time. And anytime we just fell asleep, then we wake up to the smell of bacon, which is always happiness to everybody. So. In the woods, the backwoods. I actually found out about the backwoods out there, Brian, and I'll tell you about that a little bit later because they actually have some tribal stuff connected to that along with some of the caves matter, but I'll get with you that separately. I should have told you that when you were down here visiting. I will send pics. I'd love to see pics. Yes, please send pics. You can send them to the America Haunted message. You can send them through my Facebook. I believe, yes, I have on that card that I showed earlier, I have a phone number you can text message the pictures to. Please feel free to, but leave your name when you send a text with a picture on it, because it only shows up a number. Say your name in the text, please. So going on with that, this is that. I mean, just right there, Brian. He has a fond memory, and he lives over there in Kansas now. And Utah itself has history throughout it, and some of the most haunted spots that I've ever encountered. Mountain Meadow might not be the most haunted, but there are some here that are really, really active. So if you get up here, you'll have some people in Salt Lake. If you get around the Salt Lake area, be real cautious on where you go setting where travel to. You have some newer groups and stuff like that who want all the recognition, so they get usually ornery about people in their backyard. But you know what? Come do it anyway. Let them be ornery. They're doing it for other reasons. So come on over and have a good time. Come into my area. If you don't know a good place to go ghost hunting because you're around here, I'll give you 10 or 12 options and tell you some of the best urban legends around there. So you just come on over here. Telling Durango, Colorado is super active. Okay, I was gonna make a Colorado joke. I'm not going to now, but I haven't heard that one. So I'm gonna look up information. I'm gonna write this down and get some information. I honestly, a lot of the stuff that we're gonna do. So I have probably 10 seasons laid out. I would like more because I think we can find better places than some of the other filler stuff that I have. So I'll put that in there and I'll research it and see what we got going there for that. Okay, who else we got going on? Hey, look, it looks like we're still doing good on the video. It looks like everybody's been a lot better. Where are we going in March? I have no idea. I barely made it here to this camera this morning, today, to be on live chat. So March, who knows? I'm hoping that I can be inside a building, something different. I'm trying to get on the property that's just north of Enoch here, but from what I'm told, the people are long gone and the city owns it, but I'm going to find that out soon. So we'll see. There's no electricity. This is old. This is pioneer stuff. You think they'd let us in there?
Oh, yeah.
We might do a Children's Justice Center that's right next to one of the oldest hospitals. Who knows? But first, you always retain permission. I'm still trying to work on the original hospital here in Cedar. That was the original. So, and good luck with that. Oh, but I did find out that one of the Depot Grill has just closed down, and they have, and I've been told this since there was a Godfather Pizza. This was the old original train depot, and the stories when I came into Cedar City as a paranormal investigator, they just poured in, and I've been dying to get in there ever since, and denied every second. So I'm hoping to get in there too. We'll see what happens there. Big B, Brandon Peabody. What is my ideal or most wanted place to visit? Utah or altogether? I just want to ask because I have one for each, if you want. In fact, we'll just go with that. When it comes to worldwide, my number one, out of love, not only out of paranormal, but love, respect, I mean, just the heart that I have would be Auschwitz. Okay? We all know that, I mean, the most tragic events that in human history happened there. I mean, there was a lot of tragic events, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of horrible things, but in my mind, stepping out, the millions of innocents that went through there, it's active. It's active just thinking about it. And I would die trying to get into Auschwitz. In fact, I actually had permission back in 2009 when I created the television show before the market took a dump and everything like that. They had so many, they were more than willing to let us in. We were getting ready to do the filming, and just all of a sudden, you know, everything went under and we couldn't do it. So I'm hoping that we can still do that. I'd like to, at the same time, stop around there and go to Oscar Schindler's grave and leave my rose petal. And I would like to put some flowers on the monuments and stuff like that. This is some of the things. That is my number one. In Utah itself, I would absolutely love to get myself in the LDS temple. Will that ever happen? I have a better shot of walking to Auschwitz than to do a paranormal investigation in the LDS temple. Not because they don't believe in ghosts and stuff like that, but if you are non-LDS with a lot of good background and recommendations, you can't get past the visitor center. That's just the rules it is. The LDS temple in Salt Lake, the original one, the original granite built, or whatever stone dug out of the Wasatch Mountains built LDS temple. A lot of people, well, I wouldn't say a lot, but there was quite a few people that passed away building it. They felt very passionate about it and built that temple. No, I am not religious by any means, but that doesn't mean that I don't want to see what's in there. If anything, I've been told of a lot of haunted places in Salt Lake, but and no one says anything about the temple, and it just makes me wonder. And maybe I don't find anything, and I get an opportunity to see some of the most beautiful architecture around. Who cares? I'll take anything I get. So with that, it's just yeah, Auschwitz. But number one in the world is Auschwitz. Then you go to, of course, Westminster Abbey. I'd love to get to the Pyramids Giza. Also, on the other side of the family, we have Italian. So I would like to go to Italy and do the Roman Colosseum. I'd love to go to the Necropolis, the city of the dead. Oh, in the Vatican. Oh, that would just be wonderful. So, and you know me, I'll go by myself. I don't care. It's fine with me. So, those I'm getting on there, and I can keep going historical stuff. I mean, the battlefield of Gettysburg. You know, I'll go on and on and on and on. One thing that I'd like to do that is not one of the most historical sites, but is a known site to quite a few people, is the catacombs in France. It took over 3,000 years to finish, which is really interesting considering that even the United States isn't even 3,000 years old. As becoming a country, I should say. It's much older. I get it. Don't worry about that. But in the center of those catacombs is where the water pools up and is said to have a woman in white. And you either come out somewhat different or you don't come out at all. And I love those urban legends. I really do. Well, they had one urban legend that really got to me that said, if you stand, this is a typical thing too, by the way. If you stand on this witch's grave at midnight with the full moon and on Halloween or whatever, but this one actually told me on Halloween at midnight that they would find me impaled on the fence. And I did that about 14, 15 years ago. And, you know, the impale wound hurts. No, but but I love those. I love those urban legends. But who knows? What if it's true? What if there's some validity there? And that's what I like to find out. Before I call bullshit on anything, I want to see it. I want pictures. I want to try to see what I can do, because I'm not going to call it out unless it's truly garbage. What would I expect to find? You know, in Auschwitz, I would expect to find sorrow. I would expect to find lost. It really, you know, it tears my heart up, really, to think, because I love people so much that it really bothers me to think that when I walk onto there, it's going to be one of the most gut-wrenching, painful experiences I'll ever have in my life. I will feel and get to sense the deep sorrow. I will not get the full sensation what those people gone through. There's no way. But I will. I believe that I will have the opportunity to see and feel and probably have evidence of some of those who have stayed behind, to find others, because so many people were separated from each other. Some of the paranormal stories that I've gotten were of people looking for their relatives still, or looking for their own body, since they were cremated or destroyed, things like that. I mean, I know, I understand exactly what I'm getting myself into, and that's why I want that to be the pilot episode, because I know what I'm getting myself into. I know that it is one of the most notorious, historical, most horrific sights on this planet. And for that, it's just, I believe it due respect. And I believe that I don't owe it, but I do believe I want to show the respect there. I mean, God love our troops that helped free those people. God love our troops for everything they do since the start of America. You know, I'm a big supporter of our military and our men and women in uniform. But I expect that what I'm about to get into is something that I won't even be prepared for. And I think that's what entices me the most, because it's something I don't know. Oh, sorry. I love it. I've been studying Auschwitz for a while, and to me, it's just something that I've got to do. Y'all have your bucket lists. I have a paranormal bucket list, and if I can make that, if not the pilot episode for the television show, but for the season finale, something. I think that telling the non-biased history of Auschwitz, showing you some of the worst, and then being in there, it'll probably take about, from what I was guessing, three straight nights, or even a week being out there, because it's a large area to cover with things. So there's that pretty chime from my older sister again. I love it so much. So I was gonna later, but anyway, so I shouldn't even looked at that, so I apologize. But to me, that's one thing that I'm going to be fighting to do. Again, once we get figured out the producers, the production company, and things like that, it's kind of in their hands too. Not a whole ton of questions, and only a few people on, and that's fine. I'm going to get ready to wrap it up, though. If there's any more questions, great. Hit me up on the chat, and I'll try to bring them up next week. As I like to tell you, as I like to always say, please take the time to learn the history of where you're going into, so you can understand why it might be haunted, what's going on there, and dive yourself into what is there. Be respectful. Be very, very respectful. Be mindful and be careful. If you do believe in the paranormal, then be respectful, even to the ones that are just being downright violent. Don't destroy a place. Do not break windows. Do not destroy graves. I don't care who they belong to. I don't care how bad the person was. There are things attached to it besides the person. Don't ever attach yourself to it, to the point where you're breaking and destroying things. Do not leave garbage. Do not, I know some places are in the middle of nowhere. Please just don't use the bathroom in those areas. Go outside. I mean, it's little things like that. Very respectful. Because, you know, if you really break it down, would you want somebody going and doing this to your relatives and your loved ones' graves and places and things like that? We have a lot of problems with that throughout the paranormal investigation community, that it's gotten a lot of places where I could send paranormal investigators to check out and enjoy, but they're completely shut down now because of what people have done. Nothing I can do about it. So, hi Tammy. Oh, heck yeah, I can give you a shout out to there in Japan. Are you kidding me? You guys are up right. Well, of course, you're many hours difference, but hey, Japan. There you go. Hey, Japan, if you have any good stories for me too, you let me know. I'd like to hear them as well. Andrew DeGrand. I like how it says Japan with the American flag. Now, I might have just sounded stupid. Maybe I have a Japan in America, but I don't know. But as far as I know, it's the country over there. So let's go with that. How's that? If I'm wrong, Andrew, let me know. But I'm giving my shout out to Japan, and you let me know what else I can do for you. Okay. So everybody, be safe. Please bring any questions you have. I really appreciate everything everybody's doing for me. If you have a topic you'd like me to bring up next week, or something I'd like to touch on, feel free to message me. I'd be happy to look into it. So for that being said, thank you everybody for your support and your help. Please share the page. Again, if we have any artists out there, please get with me. I want to tell everybody thank you for making this what it is. You guys have come full through. You guys have watched and been on here and followed through, even with the stumbling around the crappy video. So to that, I thank you, because without you, there is no me. So for that, just remember, stay safe. Happy hunting. Thank you. And find the finish button. Oh, U.S. Navy. I'm so sorry. 13 hours. Yes. Andrew right there. Andrew Henry DeGrand. I'm sorry. I'm saying this first. U.S. Navy. Shout out to my Navy boys. Right there. My men and women in uniform, I will always give a shout out. You know what? Keep doing what you're doing. You have our full support. Everybody here has got right there behind you. And thank you. From the bottom of our hearts and everybody in this room right now, thank you for what you do for this country. Andrew, your people, your men and women, thank you. Have a good night.